Hi everyone! Today is going to be another video because just today someone asked me about the requirements of a J1 teacher. I am going to answer frequently asked questions about J1 Teacher Exchange Program, and these questions are actually the same questions that I receive every single day. Every single day. No, these are the questions that I always receive from colleagues, friends who are interested in applying for a J1 Teacher Exchange Program. So I have my notes with me so that I will not miss anything. Okay, let's start with the requirements. So what are the requirements of a J1 teacher? Number one is you should have at least 2 years of full-time classroom teaching experience. So let me emphasize that. It should be a classroom teaching experience. So why do I want to emphasize that? It's because personally, I have a 1-year tutorial experience. Though I am teaching, but it's tutorial. So it should be a classroom teaching experience, okay? Number two is you should be a licensed professional teacher. No more explanation. So requirements number 3 to 8 are the documents that you have to prepare upon application. So if you think you have requirement number 1 and 2, then you're good to go. Number 3 requirement is your curriculum vitae. Now, please do not make your CV very long because this is what I've learned, okay? During my application, my first CV was 4 pages long. Okay? Because, diba, yung thinking natin, like, we want to impress them with our credentials, like with our awards, seminars attended, affiliations, but you can't impress them with a very long CV. They don't want to waste their time by browsing all those pages, okay? So make it short, make it precise. Actually, my CV was 2 pages only, and please don't go beyond that, okay? So 2 pages lang, please. Yung fourth requirement is 3 recommendation letters, okay? And this is very important. Yung 3 na yun, make sure 1 is from your superior. So may it be your principal or your assistant principal. Dapat superior or supervisor, okay? And then the last 2 could be your colleagues or your former colleagues. Okay, it doesn't matter. Basta may isa dyan na superior mo dapat. Okay? So yun yung fourth. Fifth requirement is yung cover letter or application letter, okay? Number 6 is your diploma. 7 is your license, ID, yung card. Number 8 is PRC certificates. I'm not so sure if other applicants did this, but for my end, I actually attached 2 certificates because I feel like maybe it's a good way to market myself so the school district could see my rating. Feeling ko lang. But I think it's up to you if you would somehow also attach your PRC certificate. So, 2 certificates lang yung inattach ko. Number 1 is a certificate of board passer and the other one is report of rating. Yun lang. Number 9 is transcript of records or FCE. Would be best. And number 10, I think number 10 is optional. And me, myself, di ko siya ginawa. Kasi nga, nasa CV naman na siya. So if you have like awards or certificates, like you can add them. And guys, lahat ng documents na sinabi ko, including the ID, should be in PDF file, okay? So I think that's all for the requirements. And now let's move to frequently asked questions. Actually, I have a list, so please don't mind me reading the FAQs, okay? Kasi di ko sila memorize lahat. FAQ number 1 is, need po ba currently teaching? The answer is yes. you have to be currently teaching when you apply for a J1 teacher position. Because a J1 visa is not an employment visa, but it's a exchange visitor visa. So, visitor lang tayo, guys. We're not immigrants, okay? So, dapat currently teaching. FAQ number 2. Need po ba may MA muna or PhD muna before makapag-apply? The answer is no. But it's an edge. Okay? So, di talaga siya requirement, but it's an edge because ako, I don't have my MA yet. But knowing na si J1 visa is becoming popular, di ba? So, marami na yung nag-a-apply and it's going to be a tight competition. So, having an MA or having a PhD units or even na-graduate mo na yung doctor's degree mo, you have an edge from other applicants. But again, I am not here to discourage you because ako nga, di ba, I was able to have a job offer even if wala akong MA. And just take note that during the interview, you have to really give your best. Dapat, ano ka talaga, parang yung very, very confident at alam mo lahat yung sinasabi mo during the interview. FAQ number 3, dapat po ba magaling mag-English? The answer is no. But take note, guys, when you apply, you should know what you signed up for. So, America is an English country, so you have to expect that you should somehow know how to express yourself, deliver your lesson, and, connect with your students and your colleagues. And of course, di naman talaga necessary na like advanced talaga yung mga words na ginagamit mo, yung parang OA na, yung mga highfalutin words and the flowery words. Di siya necessary, guys, because if you will converse with an American, they don't really matter like yung grammar mo or yung mga words mo. As long as you can converse, like yung parang confident ka lang, or hindi ka talaga nervyos kapag sila yung kausap mo, okay na yun. Huwag mo na i-complicate yung self mo. Huwag ka na mag-overthink. Okay? So, practice makes perfect. So, everything is a learning process. So, if you come here, expect that you would somehow improve your English, improve your pronunciation, your grammar, because that is going to be your daily basis na ginagamit. Okay? O, diba? Daily basis na ginagamit. Does it make sense? Okay. Anyway, FAQ number 4. Ano ba dapat ang nilalagay na purpose sa TOR? And the answer is for employment. Do not complicate anymore. Kasi may nag-ask sa akin, ano ba dapat ilalagay? If for abroad ba daw? So, for employment, I'm gonna attach a photo here na nakalagay yung, ay wag na, kapoy na kayo mag-edit, no? Basta for employment. Speaking of TOR, may nag-ask din if during application need ba na FCE na or TOR pa rin. So the answer is you can apply even if you don't have FCE yet. Okay? So kahit TOR lang yung ina-attach mo sa application mo, that's fine. That's fine. But take note, sooner or later, your school district might require you to have your FCE ready. Okay? Next question is, ano po ba yung FCE? Yung FCE is a Foreign Credential Evaluation. So, it is a process where our transcript of records is being evaluated by an organization like Spantran or WES. And they're going to like compare the degree that we earn in the Philippines to the US equivalency. Does it make sense? Basta yun yung purpose niya. Like, tinitingnan nila yung degree ba natin na na-earn sa Philippines is just, equal to what they have in the US. And this is online, okay? Purely online. FCE is online. FAQ number 5. Pwede po bang mag-apply kahit private school lang ang experience? So the answer is yes. Me, myself, I have 5 years of teaching experience in a private school, and that's it. Di po ako from DepEd. FAQ number 6. Saan daw ako nagpa-FCE? So the answer is Spantran. Baka naman. Charis. Next is, need po ba ng driver's license? The answer is yes, no. It depends. Okay? Yes, no, over. So what do I mean? There are visa sponsors who really require driver's license, guys. And there are also visa sponsors who don't require, like my visa sponsor. So my visa sponsor is International Alliance Group, and they don't require driver's license. If you have driver's license, much better, because here in the US, they don't have, but yung public transportation nila is just Uber and Lyft, and it's very expensive. FAQ number 9. I don't know how to state this question, but inask siya sa akin, like, yung undergrad niya is bachelor in secondary education, but then yung experience niya is elementary. Pwede ba daw siyang mag-teach ng elementary sa US kasi yun yung teaching experience niya? I'm not so sure about this, guys, but this is what I've learned sa US system. So US is paying so much attention on alignment. So whatever your undergrad is, most likely yan yung tuturuan mo. So if you are BS Ed in the Philippines, so even if your teaching experience is elementary, that means most likely na tuturuan mo sa US is yung secondary, or it could be middle school or high school. Kasi nga alignment yung fino-focus ng US, di ba? So last is, pwede ba daw isama ang asawa? And this will be the last question for today. So pwede ba daw isama yung asawa? And the answer is yes. Take note, asawa, hindi jowa, hindi fiancé, okay? So if you are a J1 holder, you can bring your spouse and your dependents or your kids. And sa kids mo naman, dapat under 21. So if they are 22, that means you can't bring them with you. Take note, there are visa sponsors who allow their J1 teachers to bring their spouse and kids with them the moment they go to the US. But there are also visa sponsors who require their J1 holders to wait after 3 months, and you can process their J2 visa. And this whole J2 visa thing, it's a big, topic, and I'm not gonna include it in this video because this video is for J1 FAQs and requirements only. And I hope this video will help you. Okay, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Okay, go guys, but yeah, bye.